Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's Sun Joku. Happy Easter, Nation. Hope everybody has an awesome day tomorrow. I know it'll be a little bit weird not being able to have the big family meals and everything that we're used to, but just spend it with your family, spend it, kick back, have a good time. But as far as tonight goes, I wanted to take an in depth look at our just secondary as a whole. Get your guys' thoughts about it. I wanted to put my opinion out there, let you guys see what I'm thinking. Let me know if you agree with me or disagree with me. I'm just curious to see how this really plays out and just kind of see exactly what we need moving forward. So we're not going to waste too much time. We're going to jump into it. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. I always do appreciate that. Well, let's go ahead and start with the safeties. I think Abram's going to come out there and be our number one starting or strong safety. I don't think there'd be too many people that would argue it. I know a lot of you guys say he's still unproven. I do agree with that, but he is going to have that starting job. I guarantee you that. And I truly think he's going to live up to the hype. He has to. Can't talk that much trash and then not show up. It just does not work. So it is what it is. But Abram will be that number one for us. And then I really think Randall's going to go out there and be that number two for us. I don't think there's been a few of you that said that you want to see Randall move into that slot position and then have Joyner move back into that free safety position. Joyner's getting paid right now to go out there and be that slot safety slash corner. And the bottom line is the dude's just not doing it. Like, he's not doing it. And it sucks to see. And we all see it at week in and week out. But I really think with the added help around there and having Abram back, having Randall back there, having the corners that we have, Joyner's going to be much improved. I know it's hard to believe. I can't believe I'm actually saying it, but I truly think that he will. Kirby, what's going on? Oh, stumbling upward. Our secondary is trash. Upgrades, baby. Joe Baba, rate your defense from 1 to 10. How do you think they'll do? It's too early to tell for that right now. Oh, Watts, what's going on, man? Joyner be getting burned? Yes, on a regular freaking basis, and we all see it. Kirby, Nick Nelson, I don't know. He sucked in 2018. Yeah, he's a tough one. Renee, what's going on? We need Muse or Winfield or trade down for on a lower first. That's very possible, and I think we're going to get into that in a second because I think one of the casualties of that is going to be Eric Harris just being off this team. Because then we brought in Heath, and he's pretty much, he's going to be the backup to our number one and number two. The dude can go out there and play a little bit of slot, but I've seen that dude get eaten alive in the slot, especially by those fast little receivers. So I really don't want to see that. So I see him just kind of taking that Eric Harris role. And then if we go out there and we get a safety, Eric Harris is probably off this team. I don't see us carrying 6 safeties and 6 or 7 cornerbacks into Vegas. Just doesn't work as far as your depth chart's concerned. So let me know what you think about that. Renee, Joyner cut. It's very possible. That's the other thing I wanted to say. We've all been talking about the draft date trades going on. Joyner could be one of those dudes that's on that block right now, especially with the people that we brought in, and especially since we'll be able to target one of these top safeties if we wanted to. So if you want to see a draft day trade, I think Joyner might be that dude. It's just going to be hard for a team to end up taking that contract knowing what he's done for like the past year and a half pretty much. Renee, Muse in the third would be awesome because I really think that kid could transition and play linebacker too. Who do you want to go as a star on defense? I'm hoping it's Abram. Yep, in the third. Nice jersey. Dude, breaking out the old Marcus Allen, man. It's Easter time. You got to do what you got to do. Harris is too slow for what we need. He really is. I don't like Harris at all, man. I know he showed up in that Chargers game. I know he played a hell of a game. He made Phillip Rivers look like a damn fool. But outside of that, that dude was chasing the back of jerseys all season long. And I'm sorry, dude. I don't want to see Harris making that move coming to Vegas. I truly don't. I know he's a fan favorite for a lot of you guys. And he does. He has a great backstory and it's cool as shit, but I just don't see it happening. I truly, truly don't. If we draft a safety with speed, Harris is probably cut. And that's what I'm saying. He probably is because the dude's not making too much money. He's not under any kind of like super contract where there's going to be a bunch of dead money. So if we go out there and nab one of those top safeties, or honestly even a safety in the third, that's pretty much going to spell the end of it for Harris. And it sucks to say, but I mean, the dude's been a Raider for a minute. I do like him a lot, but he's not good enough. He's not fast enough, and unless he's played against Rivers, he does not make the reads, and a lot of that was just Rivers being complete trash right now. And then Let's move over to the cornerbacks real fast. I think Mullins definitely got that number one spot locked down. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I truly think that's going to happen. Isaiah Johnson, I mean, penciled in right now, that dude's going to be our number 2 cornerback. I like him. I have faith in him. I think he has all the potential and the size in the world, but it scares the shit out of me. I'm not going to sit here and say that it doesn't, so I want to know your guys' thoughts on that. A lot of people like the idea of Isaiah coming out there and being our starter, but actually having him on the field as our number 2. I mean, he'll have the help around him, but at the same time, I think there's younger, not really younger, the dude's a rookie last season, but I think there's better talent out there that we could go after in this draft that would make a big difference for us in that number 2 corner spot. And then having Johnson play number 3 would actually end up being a huge upgrade for us, because number 3 on our depth chart will end up being Lawson, and Lawson's more of a replacement for Joyner in that nickel slot spot. So I could really see him just being the backup to Joyner out there, because he can play that role. He played it pretty damn well. He didn't look too bad out there. And then Nixon's the same way, where he can go out there and be that nickel slot guy. But he could also be a true number 3 corner. I really like him, but the fact we didn't see too much of him last season until all the injuries started to happen really kind of screwed him. And I really don't know what we're going to end up doing with him. I think he'll still be around, but I think Nelson and Maben, both those dudes are probably going to end up being gone, especially if we bring in 2 corners in this draft, because I truly think we're going to bring 2 corners in on this. Nelson and Maben just haven't shown up. They have not been there. They have not been the dudes that we needed them to be. They have not made the progressions that they had to. So I could seriously see them just kind of getting the boot when we bring in some rookies here. And then a lot of people are saying, man, I know that we need a number 1 wide receiver. I truly, truly know it. But I don't know if one of those first 2 picks is going to end up going to a receiver anymore. And it sucks to say, because I truly want Lamb or Judy. I'm not as high on Ruggs as a lot of you guys are. But even him at that 19 spot, I would be okay with. But we still might go complete defense in that first round, just because everybody keeps saying. I mean, especially if we can trade and get into that second and get somebody like Pittman or one of those second-tier receivers that can go out there, it could end up making a huge difference for us. And at the same time, it would completely put our defense over the top. And I truly, truly think that we need that. But, I mean, we can all sit here. We all know we need that freaking number 1 wide receiver. That drives me insane that we did not take care of that in free agency. I know there wasn't the best options out there, but we missed out on a few trades and some big name receivers that changed teams. So unless something happens on draft day, I'm just really curious to see what happens with it, because that number 1 receiver spots is going to hurt bad. Yes, Joe Mama, because we have Mayock. Draft a cornerback with speed. That's really what I'd like to see. And that A.J. Terrell kid, who everybody keeps talking about. And that's a dude that we could go out there and get in the 3rd probably. So that would open up one of those first-round picks out there. But I'll tell you right now, if Akuta drops to 12, you have to nab that dude. You have to. That's like saying Simmons drops to 12. I don't see us trading up anywhere, because I think we'd lose value at that. But if somebody drops to that 12 or 19 spot that's not supposed to be there, it's going to be best player on the board just so we can have him out there. Joe Malley, there we go. Nathan Peterman is our saver. The prophecy foretold, he's the GOAT. Dude, if Peterman showed up and ended up being the GOAT, I'd be the first person to put you up on a pedestal and be like, man, it was months ago. Stumbling came out there and said, Peterman's the GOAT. Took it over. It'd be a freaking Easter miracle for you. Kirby Lamar Jackson, Nebraska. That's very possible. He's actually been getting a good bit of coverage on ESPN and crap, so I could see that. I had a dude tell me about a cornerback that's coming out of Georgia Tech that actually looked pretty damn good. So I want to see, I got to look into his tape, but he was supposed to be something special, so I want to see that too. Lamar Jackson has good height. Yes, he does. That is true. When Sammy Watkins with the free agent, would you want him? At this point, I wouldn't want him right now at all. I do not want Chris Hogan at all. I would draft Denzel Mims or Jefferson if the top 3 are gone. Watts, dude, I've been really high on Mims. I truly have. I want to know. I really think that dude could show up and make a huge, huge difference out there. I know he doesn't get the hype that these other guys get. He doesn't come out of that big of a school. but the size and the separation that he gets, and everybody says he's not the best route runner out there. You don't have to be the best route runner when you're as big as he is, because that dude just makes separation and he makes plays, and I love him. I would love to see that happen out there. Nelson Aguilar is also at camp. He is, and I've talked about him before. I really think that dude being back in a West Coast offense is going to make a huge, huge difference for him. There's a chance that it shows up. I know they've been out there. They said that Carr has been out there working with Zay Jones, like a crazy amount. So there's a little bit of hype behind Zay right now, but I could really think Aguilar could come in there and honestly maybe even take over that number 2 spot, which would put Zay at that number 4 with Renfrow at that 3. But I think in a lot of our 4 receiver spreads, you're going to end up seeing a lot more Waller taking that spot as the 4th wide receiver, which I'm totally okay with. But I really think there's a lot of room for him to grow out there, and I think Aguilar is going to end up being a big addition to this team. Even though everybody shit on it, I think everybody will be singing a different tune sooner than later. I want Chase Claypool. I like Chase Claypool. I really do. And he's another dude that we'd be able to get outside of that first round. So we'd have to get into the second to get him, but I do like that kid a lot. Tall, fast, and he's strong. That goes for Mims or Claypool. Since OBJ wants to leave Cleveland, would you take him? I don't know, man. Antonio Brown put a bad taste in a lot of the people's mouths out there. Bringing a prima donna receiver like that, especially Odell, at this point right now, I'd pass on him because this team is actually flowing together really good. We got really good chemistry, and I really like the way that it's shaping up right now. So I'd pass on that shit, dude. I truly would. Aguilar and Renfrow in the slot. That would be a good thing. And then, I mean, you'd have Williams on one side, and I guess you put Zay Jones over there at that number 2, and then you'd have them in the slot, Aguilar and Renfrow. That's a lot of speed on the field. Like a shit ton of speed on the field. And then you'd see Carr really start to light some shit up, especially if you could start hitting those slants. And then we'd be able to start stretching the field. And we could have Jacobs come in there and just bury them at the end. And that's the way this offense is supposed to work. We just haven't had the pieces for it. If Zay Jones can step up, I'm not going to sit here and say that he's going to, because I'm not going to lie, I've moved past Zay Jones. I did not think he was going to make it onto this team going into this season. But if him and Carr are out there putting in the work, I'm willing to see what happens with it. I would like to see how that ends up going. Aguilar is a former number 1 pick. Yes, he is. Trustin Mayock. When thinking about these top wide receivers, I don't know, dude. If it comes down to me having Aguilar out there or me having CeeDee Lamb or Judy out there, I can tell you right now, I'm putting him on the back burner. Michael, what's up, man? Hello, and let's go Las Vegas Raiders. What about Josh Gordon? He's a free agent. He won't get suspended for marijuana. Jordan's a tough one. I would take him. I'd be curious to see what his contract's going to be. Oh, Rich, what's happening, man? Watts, Odell, I like him, but he ain't coming to Vegas unless we start winning. And that is true, dude. But you know that shit's eating him alive being out there in Cleveland. I hope we draft A.J. Dillon. Dude, I have talked about that kid more on this channel than anybody else, to be honest with you, as far as that running back position. We could land A.J. in the 4th. And if that's not our 4th round pick, I'm going to be shocked out of my mind. That dude is like the ideal spellback for Josh Jacobs. The only other crazy shit I would see that we could do, which I know we won't do, I'd love to get Swift. If we traded back in the 1st and got Swift, I'd be happy as shit. I know that's not going to happen, but I want A.J. Dillon on this team. Odell getting old, that is true, he is. And, I mean, so that's what I have for you guys, man. I just wanted to put it out there and let you guys know see what you guys think about our secondary out there. I think I'd like to see a safety come in, and I'd like to see at least one cornerback come in. It's like Tiki Barber and Brandon Jacobs. Dude, man, that is true. I would love to see that, dude. It'd be like freaking Bo Jackson and Marcus Allen out there. I'll say it right now. Watching those two back there, man, just the plays you could run having 2 brilliant running backs back there would be insane. And nobody would be able to stack that box because you'd be able to just shred people if they did. I like Clyde Edwards, Hellier over both over both his ribs. That it's possible. I'd have to look into Clyde Edwards a little bit more just to see what he's all about. I just want one of those big running backs out there. Just somebody that break the mold of our typical running backs that can truly go in there and just pound the ball to get us through the ends of these games. Nixon needs more playing time to see where he's at. He does. And it was not last year, but the year before that, his rookie year, he ended up getting a decent amount of play time. I really thought he did pretty good. I knew he wasn't going to be able to step in there and take that number 1 or number 2 spot. I still think that he's going to end up sticking around on this team. And I would like to see him get more play time because I would like to see what that kid does have to offer because he does have decent size out there and he is fast as shit. Like, truly fast as shit. So that's pretty much what I have for you guys tonight, man. I'm not going to make a real long video. I got to get ready for Easter. Got to go to bed before the Easter Bunny comes. So y'all know how that stuff goes. What about Devontae Freeman? He got picked up by somebody. He can go, dude. I'm in Atlanta. I've seen Freeman. I know what he's worth. Quarterback is greater than safety. I mean, that probably is true. That's why a lot of these guys can move over and play that nickel slot spot. But at the same time, I want another linebacker out there. I want to be able to run a true 4-3 out there. I know a lot of you guys say it's all nickel, and it is, but we haven't had the personnel. And I'll tell you right now, against some of these teams we play, a true 4-3 would be a dramatically different game if we were able to run it out there. So that's what I got for you guys, man. Happy Easter to everybody. I probably won't be around tomorrow, but I'll definitely be back around on Monday. Until next time, guys, I'm Son Joku. Thank you for everybody that came out. Watts, dude, it's cool as shit that you came out tonight. The fact you even know my channel exists blows my mind still to this day, so thank you very much. So, happy Easter, guys. I'm Son Joku. We will see you guys next time.